What's up, guys? Jeff here from LiveStream Trading. Today's video, really quick, just going to do a breakdown and analysis of the overall market structure and give some ideas of where I think we're headed in the next couple of days and or weeks. So let's get right into that. First things first, guys, we had CPI numbers come out a few weeks ago. That was where we saw this big drop from 408, 410 area all the way down to the mid 70s. So big move there. The result of that was after that we kind of just got to a point here where we were just so downside extended. We either needed a ton of consolidation, I'm talking like maybe 4 weeks or so before we're ready for a move lower, or better yet, we kind of needed to reset this chart with a little bit of a flag break and take some shorts out of the equation and maybe get some new overhead longs involved. So everything kind of changed from, neutral bias to sort of intraday, both long and short during these days in here while we were consolidating, to a big breakout day to essentially being mostly long bias over the last week and a half or so. You can see where we kind of retested the breakout level of that trend right about here, and then we even confirmed it by setting up a new flag over that prior resistance as new support. So you can see that right in here. So gave a lot of shorts, especially anyone that entered late off the daily chart in any of these areas down here. A lot of those guys may have gotten taken out, both either on the break of the range back to the upside, or especially on this last flag that occurred, I believe, last week. So what else? Well, today we had a kind of a little bit, what looked like a bit of a blow-off move into the daily chart 400 area. The volume doesn't really suggest blow-off, but the technicals kind of make me think a little bit here that we're starting to look a little bit extended. That 400 is a pretty big key level. We tested it, we rejected it today, we closed a little bit weak. Now tomorrow we have numbers coming out, PPI 8:30 a.m. Those could definitely be impactful of the market, so keep that in mind for the rest of this video, that the bias, the ideas could entirely change by 9 a.m. tomorrow. But if we're setting that aside and we're just talking technicals, and especially if the PPI numbers come out weaker or worse than expected, the outcome that I would be potentially looking for here is a reversal, a pullback on this daily chart, back down to retest this daily chart trend. We've gotten to the point, like I said, where I think that we stopped out a good amount of shorts into, especially like over that 400 area. Just seemed like a little too extended on the daily chart to get much more of a move out of it there. Since then, we kind of had a little bit of a choppy day, but ultimately the market did decide on breaking lower, closing weak today, currently closing weak. So here's what I'm thinking for tomorrow. I'm going to go over a few time frames that I think are of interest and kind of might help paint a good picture for you. So here's a weekly chart. This is just about as far out as I go in my analysis for day-to-day trading. Right now, we're actually quite extended from that weekly chart at the moment. And, while there is a possibility that, of course, we could end up holding on to those low 390s and then in a month and a half or two start to flag back up, sure, that could definitely happen. We're not thinking that far out just yet. We're kind of thinking more like what's going to happen in the next week. So the way I'm seeing it, we had a little bit of a blow off into 400. This hourly chart candle from today is a little bit indicative of at least a short-term top. But what's really going to confirm a continuation lower, in my opinion, is going to be a break of today's lows. That would really solidify a big hourly chart reversal, and that would kind of bring us to the next bigger time frames, the 4-hour chart, which hasn't really been tested since back here on the 13th. And the time before that it was tested was back here all the way on the 10th. So we're kind of due for a little bit of a retest, I think, of that 4-hour chart, which would take us to about 395. But the daily chart is also looking like it's got some room for a correction, maybe even as low as the kind of low 390s. Now, like I said, PPI numbers coming out tomorrow. That's going to shake things up a bit. If those numbers come out better than expected, the bias could change. So from a technical perspective, I'd be leaning a little bit more short after today's close, and especially, mostly, though, only if we get a confirmation of that, which in my opinion would be something like this, where we get a retest towards 397, 398. We can't get over it. Then we start to curl back down towards these lows from today. Somewhere in here is where I'd be starting to look for a short, see if we can get that next candle on the daily chart coming in, or at least retest towards that 4-hour chart that we talked about just a moment ago. Flip the coin the other side, though. Let's say the numbers come out tomorrow a little bit better than expected. Look, if we get back over 398 and we start to hold up, and we start to see that this hourly chart trend is in fact still intact, I wouldn't be opposed to looking at continuation longs. But from a purely technical perspective, guys, I'd prefer to see something set up tomorrow or the next day where we get a little bit of a pullback just to retest some of those daily chart trend areas that we haven't tested for a while. Like I said, it's been kind of a big run up ever since that 385 break. Today felt like a good day to kind of get a little bit of a blow off look on the daily chart with a little bit of room for a pullback. But like I said, guys, we have the numbers coming out tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. That's in pre-market. We got a pretty stacked schedule tomorrow. You know, we got, you can see here's the schedule. We got the core PPI at 8:30. Some of this stuff won't be as impactful. Oil inventories usually shake things up a little bit, so that should be something at 10:30. But the big one tomorrow is, I think, it's going to be PPI. So we'll be watching closely for to see what happens with that. And obviously, guys, like I said, you come into each day with a completely open bias, though I see a lot of reasons why this market could pull back over the next couple of days. If the numbers don't agree with that and the sentiment gets positive or bullish after tomorrow's numbers and we find ourselves back up, you know, over 398, starting to really hold on, you know, and get aggressive with the buyers and kind of holding out there, I would switch my bias and be looking more like longs. That being said, tomorrow, especially if we get a retest towards 397, 398, and then we can't get up over that level, and we start to see evidence of lower highs and especially a break of today's lows, you'd probably find me starting to look at short setups in somewhere like this, risking off an area like this, anticipating or looking for that next move down on the daily chart. So whatever you guys do tomorrow, just trade safe, obviously. Trade your own plan. Those are some ideas that I'm looking at that I hope you found helpful. But if you're looking for real-time ideas and alerts and get some ideas on like where I'm going to be entering stuff in real time or just a little bit more detailed analysis during the day when things are unfolding, check us out at LiveStreamTrading.com. If you enjoyed this video and want more like it, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe button. And the more that I see of that, the more I'll post. If you guys have any questions, hit them in the comments. If you have any ideas for videos you'd like me to cover, hit me in the comments. All right, guys, good luck tomorrow. Trade safe, and we'll see you soon.